Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. This week, let's focus on creating the opposite of worry. So, if we were to think about how all of us worry, and I was raised by a worrier. I love my mom, but she was absolutely spent a lot of her mental energy creating all these worst case possibilities so that then she could have a strategy against it. So most of my growing up was spent with a lot of worry in the field. And what I've come to realize as I created clarity and I got more educated about how our thoughts create a reality, I realized that worrying about something is kind of like a prayer. So I've defined it as worry is a negative prayer. So what is a prayer? A prayer is asking for something that you want, a best case scenario, a possibility. And that's the problem with worry, because worry is focused on what you don't want to have happen. And it's so counterintuitive. And when you really think about it, you're making up stories. Worry is all about a story. It's about something that hasn't even happened yet. And you're creating a possibility out of it. You're bringing that possibility into your field. So that's why I thought about when you um, when you read Gary's Friday blog, and he's so funny, and he writes about another worry wasted. And he was talking about a client, and I think I'll read it to you because this person had a job that drained her. It was totally toxic. And it was so toxic and so exhausting that she didn't even have the energy to look for a possibility, a vision for her future. Her phrase was, "I feel like I'm in prison." So she is, when you look at the facts, she was totally experienced, a leader in her field, well regarded, could make a contribution anywhere, was financially, fortunately, in a position where she could imagine something and go for it. And we're in the period of COVID now. We're BC, before COVID, and AC, which is after COVID. And a lot of our clients had an opportunity during COVID to take a time out and take a look at things that they wanted to change, things that they wanted to do more of, and things they wanted to do less of. And just like Gary's client, what in her toxic environment, she realized that her constant negative focus was blocking, literally blocking, like a mental screen in front of her head where she couldn't see the future. And of course, he helped her with the clarity tools to shift that, and she did. The good news, she got exactly what she wanted, and all is well. So you have to remember that you can either create the worst case scenario, which is worry, or the best case scenario, which is a vision of a possibility. And that's what I want you to do this week, is to catch yourself. Many of you listening aren't in this trap. You've escaped that, and you know how to shift quickly, just whoosh when things when you need to change direction. However, what I want you to do is to make sure that you catch yourself if you're making up a worst case scenario or if you're worrying. So worry out the door, shifting and creating best case scenarios is in. And with that said, have the best week ever. I'm going to sign out now, and you have the best case week and weekend you can ever have. And that